ये Drunkenculus. Assalamualaikum bachcho. Today we will do the last parasite of parasitology, that is Drunkenculus. It is one of the tissue nematodes, and after this tomorrow we will just go through the revision of all the parasites in a small summarized way. That will be conducted by Dr. Aruj. If you see the slide, this is the worm itself, how it looks like with the naked eye. Drunkenculus medensis can also be named as Guinea worm or Medina worm or dragon worm. These all three different types of names are given to the Drunkenculus. Drunkenculus is basically Drunkenculus medicinensis, which is important in medically in humans, and it's also called as Guinea or fireworm and causes drunculitis. Basically, what happens is that humans are infected when tiny crustaceae or copepods containing infective larvae are swallowed in the drinking water. So the method is through oral route. How the organism enters the body? Through oral route by drinking water. The larvae are released in small intestines and migrate into the body, where they develop into adults. Meter-long length females cause the skin to ulcerate and then release motile larvae into the fresh. Copepods eat the larvae and which mold to form infective larvae. Now these larvae becomes infective in the copepods. The cycle is completed when these are ingested in the water again by another individual. If you see this picture, first is when you ingest the water containing infective larvae or copepods. The larvae are released when the copepoid dies inside your body. Larva produces into the stomach and they becomes senior or they become mature male and females. The female is 1 meter long while the male is very small. If you see this, then the female fertilizes the worm, migrate to skin surface, and from there it causes a blister and discharge the larvae in the fresh water. In the fresh water, the female is emerging and the female begins to emerge from the skin after 1 year of infection. So you need almost 1 year to get mature infective larvae from inside the body of human, outside into the water, fresh water, where the female will be released. And these female larvae are released the larva in the water. Larva are released into the water from the emerging female, and the larva consumed by the copepoids. These copepoids, inside the copepoid body, the normal immature larva becomes infective, and these copepoids, when drunken by the human host, again it will go. First, the water, infected water with the copepoid containing larvae will be taken up by the human. They will get mature inside your gut. The female will be released inside the water through an ulcer of the skin, and then female in the fresh water releases the larvae again. And these larvae, immature larvae, will be taken up by the copepoids. The copepoids body, they become infective. And then when these copepoid bodies containing infected larvae is when drunken by the host, again the new cycle will be started. The adult female produces a substance that causes inflammation, blistering, and ulceration of the skin, usually in the lower extremities. That is how she make her way through to get out of the body. The inflamed papule burns and itches, and the ulcer can become secondarily infected. First, burning and itching will be there, and then later on it can be ulcerated. Diagnosis is usually made clinically by finding the worm in the skin or in the ulcer. If you see this one, this is how they are pulling out the larvae, the female, adult female of Dracunculus from the ulcer of the body. You can see the worm on the skin of the leg, lower legs or feet like this, like some vein. Diagnosis is made from the local blister forms or larvae. The outline of the worm under the skin can be seen. Some people claim to be able to feel the worm moving towards the surface skin. When something is crawling inside your skin, you can feel it at times, and that is how this is diagnosed. Otherwise, there is no diagnosis for Dracunculus. Treatment is the time-honored treatment consists of gradually extracting the worm by winding it up on a stick over a period of days, and after that or during that, thiabendazole and metronidazole will makes the worm easier to extract. It becomes easy to get out the worm from your ulcer point of view and from your body. This is how on the matchstick they start curling out the cankerous, and this will roll and roll around, and you will keep it until the whole organism is out. How you will prevent? The prevention consists of filtering or boiling the drinking water. So you have to use boiled or filtered water in order which are free from the copepoids which are containing the infected larvae. Okay, now the question is, which of the following tissues nematode did not enter through the skin? Did not enter through the skin. Like the humans are not get infected through the skin. Which of the following organism is? Which of the following tissue nematode did not enter through the skin of human body? There are 4 different nematodes which we have done in tissue nematodes category. That is Bushria bancrofti, Oncorera vulvaris, Loa Loa, and Dracunculus. Which of the following is not entering through the skin in the human body? There are always 2 ports of entry and exit. Exit is the port where the parasite is getting out of the body in order to infect other persons, while the entry is through which the main person is getting infected. So which of the following organism is not entering through the skin but from somewhere else in order to infect the human host? So you have to reply which of the following is this. I will wait for 1 2 minutes and then we will continue. Which of the following tissue nematodes did not enter through the skin? Keep on answering the question in order to mark your second attendance. I will move to next one. This was all about the Drungunculus. It's a small worm with no big pathology in it. So we will just go through the overall revision of nematodes. Nematodes are basically cylindrical worms, and the important stages in the life are diagnostic stage, infective stage, and the monoinfection stage. The diagnostic stage is egg or larva, and tissue nematodes are usually microflaria, which are causing these infections. While in the infective stage, eggs containing larva or flariform larva are present in the intestinal nematodes, while in the tissue nematodes, it's our infective microflaria. Mode of infection is usually ingestion of food contaminated with the infective stage or skin penetration, and it's in the tissue nematodes, it's ingestion or bite of infective vector. All three important nematodes, tissue nematodes, which we discussed, are through the infective bite of the infective vector, while one is only which is due to ingestion of dirty water containing infected copepods. Basic classification of lymphatodes is those who are involved in the lymphatics are Vishuri Ventrocti, the most important for humans. Then Bergia malai and Bergia semori is also performed in the category, but it's not important for the humans. Subcutaneous nematode, tissue nematodes are the loa, which is also called as African eye worm, as it causes infection in the eye. Oncorera vulvaris, which is blinding flaria because it's called being blind, and the Drungunculus metanesis, which is threadworm because it's very thin and long, and the conjunctiva is again for loa. This is a very important chart in order to revise or go through the tissue nematodes in no time. And this is from your own book, which you are going through these days, Javed Chalituz. And this is all Vershuria. It's through the insect vector and is the mosquito. Then the larva is the one stage which is inside humans to get in the humans infected. And most associated diseases are adult worm in the lymphatics. That is why it's called elephantiasis, as there is a uh, lots and lots of fluid outside your stasis, and that's why this is called elephantiasis, as the picture of the patient is like elephant. Important stages outside the humans are mosquito ingestion of microflare and in the human blood, that is larvae. Ancorera is due to the bite of black fly, and the larvae are the main infecting stage in the humans. And adults worms in the skin. Microflare is in the eye is called blindness. And then what happened is the black fly ingests microflare in the human skin and take up the larva and take it out for another host, next host. Loa is basically a deer fly or mango fly will bite and then pass on the larva, which is the infective stage for humans. Then the adult worms in the tissue causes infection of the skin or conjunctiva. And the deer fly ingests microflare from the human blood, and then later on this larvae will be injected by the deer fly or mango fly to another host. Drungunculus, there is no insect vector. The larvae in the copepoids are swallowed in the drinking water by the body of human, and then female worms cause skin blisters from where they can take out their head, and you can see the head of the worm, and then you will get it inserted in order to take it out. The copepoids are the main important stage outside where they ingest the larvae and make them infected. Then Toxcara and Ankylostoma canium. These two are also some tissue nematodes, and they are formed in the internal organs. But these physically formed in the dog intestine. Dogs are involved as an in-between vector, and this is basically not that much important medically. They are very rare, so you can leave them if you want to skip. That's all for today. I hope you have answered all the questions. My question was, I hope you have done. Do answer the question so that you can get the second attendance marked. Your question was, Your question was which of the following tissue nematode did not enter through the skin, that is Wuchereria ventrofti or Oncorera valvalis, Loa or Canculus medinis. Which one of the following is not entering your body through the skin? It's entering your body through somewhere else. So which one of the following is not entering through the skin? These four are very important as far as tissue nematodes are concerned. Make an important checklist and then go through it. Now your parasitology is almost complete. Now go through it so that your one portion of the exam will be ready, like the parasitology. I will unmute you all if you want to ask anything. Hello. From next Monday, you will be having your STDs as well. Anyone, any answer, any question you want to ask, any point? Yes, Isra? Hello, Isra? Hello? I think you guys are pretty much clear. I don't know what. So the second question for your markup was, that which of the following tissue nematodes did not enter through the skin? You have to reply on this question in order to get your second attendance marked. Okay, thank you guys. This was for all today. Today your parasitology is complete. Tomorrow you will have a reviewing class on parasitology. After that, you will be having immunology as your next module. Thank you so much.